Got something for you, but keep it to yourself. I'm feeling curious, want to explore it, nothing too serious. Forget the world for a minute, before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it, hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come on, here with me, I want for you to go. No need to worry, there is no hurry to stay, we'll take it slow.
It's the 2K Sports Pregame Show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, it'll be the Dallas Mavericks up against the Toronto Raptors at Air Canada Centre. Taking a look at the Raptors, they've been playing at a high level. They've got an opportunity tonight to sweep the season series 2-0. The coaching staff commented that they feel confident coming into this one. With the regular season starting to wind down, Kenny, if you're a team that's put up a good fight, but now it's obvious you won't make the playoffs, what's your strategy the last few games?
Well, you try to get better for next year. You want to improve. Every day you're on the court, you want to improve. But you also want to put a good product on for the fans. So you want to have the fans believing next year could be your year as well.
Well, I'm not as nice as Kenny. I want to win now. So the first thing I would do, I got to evaluate the coaching staff. And then I got to decide which players I want back. We're not making the playoffs. Well, I'm not paying any people.
Wow.
That'll do it. Both teams ready for tip. We send it to Kevin Harlan and the crew.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
We'll be bringing you an interconference matchup in this one as the Mavericks are coming to town. And as we start the weekend here on this Friday night, 2K Sports welcoming you to NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan courtside with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our reporter tonight on the sideline, David Aldridge. Earlier in the season, it was Toronto coming away with the loss in this matchup against the Mavericks.
And their last time playing this club, foul trouble became a big problem for them. Their starters had to take an early stint on the bench.
They've just got to be more careful tonight. It's that simple. I mean, those guys are too valuable. They need them on the floor.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. DA?
Well, guys, when DeMar DeRozan hit free agency in the summer of 2016, not only did he not meet with any other team than the Raptors, he didn't want to meet with any other team. He said, I am Toronto. Outside of where I'm from, I represent this city harder than anybody. Toronto is all I've known. I came in at 19, and I've treated it like home ever since then. Kevin?
And DeRozan is so important to this Raptors team, DA. I'm sure they're glad he's sticking around for the long haul. Clark, I know that teams that are out of the playoff race are looking for things to hold on to, things to focus on as they wind their seasons down.
Yeah, it's a chance to reinforce good habits. It's a chance to maybe give minutes to younger players to see what you have in them and how they're going to approach the situation they're in. Nothing to play for currently, but are they still going to be professional and work to improve? Looking at how they handle the little things, the attention to detail, the preparation, the readiness to play, the carrying out of assignments on the court. All of that is valuable as you look to build your team for what's ahead.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the floor right now for the Mavericks. Barnes at the 3 with Dirk at the 4. Farrell is out there with Smith. And it's Powell in at the 5, roaming the paint. Off the inbound. Nice shot by Smith.
And Smith just has a smooth release on that jump shot. Looks good every time he lets it fly.
A baseline J, and it's DeRozan missing. Lowry against Smith. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on DeMar DeRozan. That's his first foul.
Well, that was a quick foul for him there. The refs are certainly calling it close.
Here's Smith. And Smith gets double teamed, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on DeMar DeRozan. That's foul number 2 for him.
I think he's going to have to be more cautious on defense. He can't afford to pick up a third foul here in the first quarter.
Smith against Lowry. Nowitzki a screen. And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Yep, they'll be trying to draw that next foul quickly so they can start getting those easy chances at the stripe.
Lowry against Smith. They set the screen. 5 to shoot. It's stolen by DeRozan. And now it's Lowry running. Here we go. All the way if he can.
You know, Kevin, I don't think there's any doubt that Lowry is a shoot-first point guard. I mean, a guy who is constantly on the attack and looking to score the ball when he can.
Farrell kicks to Smith. Lets it go. Toronto grabs the miss. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
Just a terrific effort off the bench. Guys came in, they seemed fresh, and they all contributed.
Yeah, you need that juice, that gas coming off the pine. Always a luxury to have a deep bench. And when they can step in and play well, you're in good shape.
So it's the Mavericks now, after Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. Farrell kicks to Powell. Valanciunas on the double team. Pass to Farrell from downtown, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Nowitzki. Farrell's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. The 15-footer, DeMar DeRozan, again.
Kyle Lowry with a beautiful setup.
Mavericks have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Smith against Lowry. And Valanciunas pulls it down.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal. And it doesn't even matter that he's surrounded on that possession. He's got the size to pull those boards down anyway.
And they have certainly been looking locked in off.
And he just glides to the hoop on his drives. DeRozan's got plenty of force to his game, don't get me wrong, but he makes everything look so effortless.
And that replay sponsored by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment, giving us an excellent perspective on the play. Here's Barnes, after Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. By himself. Oh, and the jam by DeRozan.
And you can sense they're starting to take charge here.
You know, they seem to be on the same page out there, Greg. I mean, definitely the momentum is with them.
Now, here is Smith. A 17-point game for him in the win against the Knicks in New York. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for the Mavericks.
And the three-pointer was their preferred weapon. It can be a risky strategy, but it's one that more and more teams have embraced over the years.
Toronto leading by 7.
And in today's game, we're really so used to thinking of passing as the key to an efficient offense. But this Raptors club, they do it a different way. For them, the screen is the assist, giving their guards space to pull up or attack the rim.
2 on none. No one back to stop this. And the dunk by DeRozan.
And you want to talk about high-volume scores, just look at what DeRozan's doing tonight. He's been on a mission, putting his mark on this game in a big way.
And the Raptors for the last few seasons, Greg, right at the bottom of the league in assists.
Yeah, but nevertheless, they do make good decisions. They're a low turnover team, and they've been pretty efficient offensively. One area where you can offset that is by their ability to get to the free throw line, because that puts a lot of pressure on your defense with their ability to attack.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
Executed on the road, stayed focused, stayed consistent with who you are as a team.
I love that, Greg. You got to do that away from home. It shows how connected they are with one another playing that way, and excellent chemistry.
And here we can check out the story on Jonas Valanciunas. He's been more than solid over the last month. 15th in blocks. And don't forget, top 20 in the league in rebounds per game. He's got a great nose for the ball.
And trying to muscle up shots against him is tough. His body type makes it supremely difficult. Just a dominant rim protector all season.
And you love the effort. Just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
Really came close to the pilfer, but they'll take that effort. Mucking things up is sometimes just as good as a steal.
Now, here is Smith, and you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. It's good.
And, you know, being Nowitzki is 7 feet tall, he's tough to guard in the post because of that size and shooting touch. You can't allow him to get that kind of position.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
And I tell you what, Greg, they've worked hard for this lead. Their play calling has been superb, and the execution even better.
Powell with the screen, and here's Barnes for three. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time.
Barnes, one of the best catch-and-shoot guys around. Awesome at filling out the defense and then taking advantage of what's available.
And jumping out like this, man, you automatically start thinking blowout.
Yeah, you know, it's early for sure, but still, they're flat out owning this team right now.
Now here's Nowitzki. Powell kicks to Nowitzki. Sinks the triple. Nowitzki's got 5.
Love how confident Nowitzki is from beyond the arc. I mean, he's got such a high arcing shot to go with that 7-foot frame. Almost impossible to block it, and it goes in more times than not.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain-neutral position.
Raptors leading by 9. Here's Anunoby. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Tone setting, that's what I call it. Grabbing this one by the throat early on and then squeezing it hard.
Farrell for 3. They get it again. Nowitzki. Ibaka with some nice D.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
He gets it in there. He's got 14.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
Buries it from 3-point range.
Their third three-pointer in a row.
Adjustment time for these guys. The defense has to make some adjustment here.
And already with the commanding lead, a terrific offensive performance.
Yeah, and the execution, time and time again, right on point. They're running their offense to perfection.
And Kyle Lowry over the last few seasons slimmed down about 15 pounds. He's Greg been playing the best basketball of his career.
No doubt. He's still got that low center of gravity, almost like a bowling ball. He just gets under his man, and his strength and tenacity enable him to create chaos at both ends of the floor.
Here's Valanciunas, and the dunk by Valanciunas.
Kevin, it's nice to see Lowry dish the rock. I mean, I enjoy watching him pass the ball because he's got a nice feel for when to get it to his guys for an open shot.
Here's Nowitzki, and the jam by Dirk Nowitzki.
And wait to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket guy still shaking.
Well, I tell you what, he loaded up as much power as he could behind that two-hander.
And a terrific percentage here in the first half. You got to love their rhythm and the flow with which they're playing.
I agree with you. I mean, they just look comfortable out there, taking what the defense gives them and then capitalizing with no real problem at all.
Dallas calls timeout. And Valanciunas out of Lithuania, the 5th overall pick back in 2011.
Yeah, he's still quite young. A lot of talent offensively. Defensively, he's probably had less of an impact, but that's where he has to take the next step.
On the Mavericks with some changes. Nerlens Noel checks in for Dwight Powell. Doug McDermott comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And Barea subbed in for Smith. Here's Farrell. Last game he had 10 points. It's stolen by Valanciunas. And now here comes Wright, leading the break. Let's take this chance to bring you now the hottest shooters from downtown this month. Number 1, Doug McDermott.
Sometimes a three-point shooter gets into that rhythm and just keeps carrying it over. That's been the case for him the entire month.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Powell. Clark, when you played, you had some great footwork in the paint. Which big men today impress you with their footwork in the paint, in the post?
Man, I tell you, one of the guys I've always loved watching do his thing inside is Zach Randolph. I tell you what, he grits and grinds as well as anybody, and his touch and footwork exquisite because he's not an overpowering or overwhelming athlete. Karl Anthony Towns much the same way. Fairly low to the ground in how they play, but extremely effective in being able to get the position and shot they want. And Enes Kanter, a guy who's starting to impress with his footwork as well.
Farrell for 3. The Mavericks rebound. Noel. Back to Barea. And it's Wright sending it back. Here's Powell. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pretty clear. It's smash mouth basketball. Pound that thing inside.
And that one's good. Barnes.
Boy, you got to respect the long-range accuracy of Barnes now. When he gets a little daylight, he's dangerous from the perimeter.
Wasted no time on that one. That's 12 points for Valanciunas.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Well, everything's coming too easily. I mean, at some point defensively, you have to take something away.
Yep, that one goes.
And Noel really does a nice job in reading angles of shots. He really excels in avoiding box outs because he's so active, and he typically beats guys to important spots near the basket.
Valanciunas, good.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
Here's Farrell. 6 points for him. Wright with the double team. Barea with a wide open look gets the 14-footer to fall.
Kevin, I've got a lot of respect for the offensive game of J.J. Barea. I mean, this guy picks his spots well and plays within himself. He knows his limitations.
Fast break, Dallas. Passes to McDermott. And Noel kicks to McDermott. Off target with his 3. Toronto leading by 13. Here's Miles. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
Now here's Barea. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against New York.
And you know, Kevin, his creativity really on display that night. I mean, he was threading beautiful passes everywhere.
4 on the clock. Farrell for 3. Knocks down the 3 ball. Farrell's got 9. Farrell's gone 3 of 6 from outside, 50%. And there's a nice one-handed slam.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones.
Hey, they've got a nice, comfortable lead here, fellas. Might as well keep it simple. Do it a plain, simple one-hander, just like pound cake.
I would agree. Now the Raptors moving it up. Here's Valanciunas. And it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
It's stolen by Valanciunas. Out of bounds, Dallas will take possession. And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from for the Raptors.
Well, when you have a whole team that is locked in, this is what your shot chart looks like. They are moving the ball well and taking shots with confidence. When this team comes out and is knocking it down from all over like they are right now, they are one of the toughest in the league to beat.
.102 left in the first quarter of the game. Noel with it. Now Valanciunas defending. Farrell for 3. And it was still over the rim. Offensive basket interference. Nogueira, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Mejri, he's checked in for Dallas. Toronto leading by 16. The baseline J. That one a little long. Dallas shooting it well so far today, guys. They've connected on 48% of their shots. Dishes to Barea. They set the pick. Dallas moving it around. Here's Farrell. 9 points in the game so far. 6 on the shot clock. McDermott for 3. He can't hit that time. And Toronto will come the other way. The finish and the dunk by Nogueira.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Perfect execution. That's how you take advantage of a transition opportunity.
And here again, the Raptors in transition. Up the court they go.
And showing a good nose for the ball there. Picks it clean, and he's off to the races.
Well, excellent defensive instincts. I mean, knows exactly when to strike on this end.
It's been all about Jonas Valanciunas for Toronto. Scoring, rebounding, he was all over the place during that quarter. They are riding his performance right now. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And Serge Ibaka, known for his shooting ability now, he talked about the confidence his teammates and his coach instilled in him.
He trusts you. Every time he passes the ball, when you don't shoot, he's screaming you, shoot ball. Then next time what? You will shoot. And if you miss, you say, yeah, good shot. You know, and your coaches in the practice talking to your teammates. Man, when Serge is open, give him the ball. He will make that shot.
Well, if you wonder how much difference a coach can make for a player, there it is, huh?
You heard it in Serge's voice, too. That confidence has already been planted in him. That voice telling him, shoot the ball, is now in his own head. He's going to be just fine. Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter.
And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle stats for Toronto.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also, how about the fact defensively they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
They've got Powell. C.J. Miles is out there with Nogueira. And it's Siakam in at the power forward position. That's the group for Toronto to start the second quarter. Both shots good from the stripe.
Well, you know, one thing you can be certain of with the Mavs, guys, is they're going to make the most of what they have. I think Rick Carlisle, who actually spent some time as the head coach of the Pistons and the Pacers, is one of the very best in pro sports. He's a master at putting his players in the optimal position for their success.
Now here's Barea. Farrell, that's a two-pointer. Had the space there, but it's offline.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, guys, Raptors coach Dwayne Casey talked about the chemistry on his team. He said, "We couldn't be better. There's no ego, no hidden agendas. Guys understand their roles." Kyle Lowry told me, "We're a complete team, 15 deep, and we really mean that. You never know whose time it's going to be." Kevin?
And DA, depth is a crucial part of any team's success. Knowing you can rely on your teammates to step up is huge.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. You talk about the Mavs keeping some tricks up their sleeves. Their mastery of the zone defense, crucial to their 2011 title.
Yeah, you know, zone defense, Kevin, much less common than man-to-man. Teams don't see it much over the course of a season. Part of the reason that if teams play it effectively, it can be a good tool. They knew if they got good at it, they could stymie unprepared opponents, and that's what they did. Just the way they did against LeBron in Miami in those finals back in 2011.
That's his first personal foul.
And here's Barea outside. But they get it back. Farrell passes to Mejri. Farrell kicks to McDermott. Over Nogueira. McDermott can't get it to go. And here again, the Raptors in transition. Up the court they go. That one goes. Count it.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Yeah, you know, it's got to be terribly deflating for the opposition. Boy, they look helpless. Really getting beat up, physically and emotionally.
Here's Miles. Here's Nogueira. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. Nogueira's got 6 points. Dallas has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Noel passes to Mejri. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Well, there's nothing like being unselfish as a player, and Noel was outstanding in that regard, reading the entire floor and finding his guys for high percentage shots.
Nogueira, and the layup's good off the glass. He's got 8.
And you can see how this game is going. I mean, put a body on somebody.
Exactly, man. Come on. You got to be physical down there. There's got to be some intensity and some physicality on the boards.
McDermott kicks to Noel. Farrell passes to Mejri. From deep, Barea. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Barea.
And let's take a look at the numbers for Siakam. How his last 10 games have gone. He's putting up about 8 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And you can't downplay the importance of good size off the bench.
Space invader, a big guy who simply holds his ground and makes opponents work around him. That's good stuff.
Now here's Barea following the missed shot by Lucas Nogueira. And there's the foul. It's on Lucas Nogueira. That's his first foul. The Raptors making a switch here. Pirtle's checked in. The Mavericks also with a sub. Smith checked in for Yogi Ferrell. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Dallas moving it around. Stolen by Miles. Here's Van Vliet. And the shot goes in.
And it's about the tempo, guys. It favors them. And just look at that score.
And, Greg, you know, they're really controlling the pace and game right now. Rushing, pushing the break, and leaving the defense in its wake.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And what a season he's had at the foul line thus far. 86% from the line.
And, guys, that's an increase in his free throw percentage from last year. Maybe not a large one, but it is a little bit higher, so you've got to like that progress.
One shot, gentlemen.
Growing up, Clark, you were Mr. Basketball USA, a national ranking. Be truthful. How dominant were you in high school in Cleveland, Ohio?
I was a really good high school player, considered one of the top 2 or 3 in the country in 1979, which was actually perhaps the best high school class ever. Documented by many who follow the game: Isaiah Thomas and Sam Bowie, James Worthy, Ralph Sampson, Dale Ellis, Terry Cummings, Dominique Wilkins. I could go on and on. A terrific class, and I was considered at the top of that class as a high schooler.
And so it's Dallas with it after the Raptors pick up 2. 5 on the clock. Can they get it? It's a hand on it. Outside for Barea. He feeds it to Powell. Nogueira comes with the double team. McDermott for 3. It's hauled in by the Raptors.
Trailing here in the game, you can look at his performance as a direct indicator of why they're losing.
And the shot will not go from Anunoby. Dallas has got nothing but zeros from long range in the second quarter. 0 of 4. That's tipped. And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. And it's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here. And here we have a rundown of the players you don't want on you when you're putting up a shot. The leaders in blocks over the last month. And number 5, Jakob Poeltl.
And guys, as the month has unfolded, his interior defense has gotten better and better.
Clock at 6. Mejri kicks to Barea. High, arcing shot. It's blocked.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
And the dunk by DeRozan.
And when Poeltl sees a guy on his team open, he finds him right away, whipping that pass there directly.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
No excuse for that kind of defense. I'm positive they're upset about that.
Now here's DeRozan.
Ooh! That's how you attack. Wow.
Oh, man. my.
My goodness, that was absolutely filthy.
Ugh, nasty. This building is stunned. He dug deep, Greg, into his bag of tricks there.
Boy, I'd love to get a replay on that one. Let's keep it handy so we can see it again.
Here's Smith. The Raptors getting the bucket. Smith drawn the double team. From deep, Barea. Another miss by Barea.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Here's Poeltl. Nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket.
You know, guys, fast break points right now in their favor, and they're really pushing the tempo.
And, Greg, defensively, you got to have better floor balance and commitment to hustling back. I mean, you got to sprint back. You can't jog back.
And they're able to recover. The Raptors have gone 8 of 13 in the second quarter, well above the 50% mark from the field. DeRozan gets the bucket.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Now here's Barea. He's got 5. Smith kicks to McDermott. Screen by Smith. Powell dishes to McDermott. In the corner, Smith with it. Offensive rebound. Powell. Oh, that's blocked. And here we go with DeRozan running it up the middle. Barea pulls it in.
You rarely see him missing dunks, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough.
Nice shot by Smith.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Yeah, and they either have been unwilling or unable to take that shot away.
And here's DeRozan after Dennis Smith was able to get the three. DeRozan against Barea. Now the feed to Smith. Smith drawing the double team. Here's Barea. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got assist number 5 here tonight.
Barea's jump shot is usually right on point. When he gets room to shoot, he's able to pull that trigger fast.
And the Raptors miss again.
The defense has to be better. I mean, they were fortunate that he missed that mid-range jumper. It certainly wasn't because of the defense.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Greg, those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Nowitzki comes in for measuring, and it's Harrison Barnes in for Doug McDermott. Barea, no good.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track. Defensively, just too many baskets in transition. It's really, that's been the difference.
And you know they work on that plenty in practice. A run out here and there will happen. That's part of the game. But they've got to do a much better job overall.
Here's Smith after the made shot from Kyle Lowry. On the wing, Barnes. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on DeMar DeRozan. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Already he's looking at his 3rd foul. I think the coach will probably look to sit him down until the 3rd quarter.
Screen by Smith. Barnes outside. That's tipped. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Nowitzki, no good. And the Raptors shooting 59% here in the 2nd quarter. They're playing with great confidence. And Dirk Nowitzki, what a career. 6th all-time in NBA scoring.
This season he'll have a chance to pass the great Wilt Chamberlain for 5th on the list. And when you talk about points scored with a single team, well, he's 2nd only to Kobe Bryant, the Mamba.
Now here's Nowitzki. He had 13 points in the win against the Knicks in New York.
And don't forget about the work he did on the boards. His rebounding was a huge help in that game.
Here's DeRozan. And DeRozan throws it down hard.
Oh, he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think.
Without question, a crowd pleaser to the 10th degree.
Here's Barnes, and the dunk by Barnes.
Nice seeing Barnes go for that dunk. Always looking to finish with power at the rim. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Good. And it's 6 points for Serge Ibaka.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And, Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
Now here's Barnes. He picked up 30 points in their last win against the Knicks in New York.
And you know, he was getting fouled time and time again and really delivered at the free throw line. Huge contribution there, guys. And the fantastic end-to-end speed of Ibaka. So hard for opposing bigs to keep up with him.
And Ibaka slams it in.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Really left alone that time. Nowitzki's got 11.
And the shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole. And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
Here's Barea following the score by Serge Ibaka. Nice shot by Smith.
Yeah, he's building off that strong first quarter, Kevin. Rising up, and hitting shots with confidence.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
And it's the Mavericks with the ball after Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. Barea with a screen on DeRozan. 1:46 left to play here in the half. Nowitzki's shot's good.
And Kevin, they started the game shooting it so well. I'm surprised they haven't continued. They've got to get back to their sprint.
Yeah, I mean, test the hot hand. You're exactly right. I say let those triples fly.
And taking care of the ball has been a problem for them.
That's something they've got to fix. While the defense has been good, a lot of these turnovers have been unforced. And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Dallas shooting their first free throws of the night.
2.
That free throw missing. And Dirk Nowitzki last season passing 30,000 points for his career. As Clarkie enters his 40s, how much longer do you think he can keep it up?
Well, I don't know. He probably want to play until he's 50. And if he was able to, the Mavericks would certainly have a spot for him. But I think, 40, 41, that's a pretty high bar for NBA players. But if anybody could do it, Dirk might hang around that long.
No good on the second free throw. And the Raptors, unique in the NBA, they have a whole nation behind them.
And basketball continues to gain in popularity, especially with the younger generation in Canada. The Raptors are coming to relevance at the perfect time, and the rabid fan base energized by how competitive this group's been the last couple seasons.
Up again, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Really imperative that you put a body on Nowitzki. I mean, he's just too big and talented close to the rim.
Siakam misses.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Here's Noel. And it's Toronto with the rebound. The Oklahoma City Thunder will be in town for the next one. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand.
Oh, he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think.
Without question, a crowd pleaser to the 10th degree.
18 feet out, and Nowitzki gets it to go down on the assist by Smith. Smith's got his 6th assist on the night. They get it again. Shot's good by Ibaka. Ibaka's got 18 points in the game.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
In the corner, Farrell. There's a screen by Noel. A floater, and it's good on the way in. 11 points in the game.
Nice looking floater there, Kevin. Such a fast shot, a quick release. Really hard to guard that.
Out of bounds, it'll be Mavericks ball.
That's not how you distribute the ball. Needs to be more focused when making passes like that.
Nowitzki, that's for 2. And so it's Toronto, able to put on a show for the ages. They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Kyle, a good first half for you all. How do you continue that for the rest of the game?
We got to come out with our energy. We got to come out and play our game and keep going out there and pushing. Our defense and everybody's rotating, so we're playing together right now.
We'll see if you stay connected in the second half. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. DeMar DeRozan brought his A game early tonight. He ended up with 26 points, 3 assists, and 4 steals. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
What impressed me and continues to impress me is how much DeRozan has improved. A volume shooter who maintains efficiency with a high free throw rate and tremendous in isolation. Not many guys can stop him one-on-one, and we saw that in the first half.
And Shaq, what did you see from Dallas?
The first thing to say is, what's up with the turnovers? Jeez. You can live with some missed shots and stuff like that, but you can't keep turning the ball over. It's crushing for a team. It just saps all your confidence when you play a half like that, Ernie. Ugh.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
The evening commute has plenty of people on the move here tonight in Toronto, where we welcome you back to On 2K. Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. A fantastic game from DeMar DeRozan so far.
And I loved in that first half that they were patient, looked for good shots, and knocked them down.
Yeah, I liked how they took the initiative. They were really locked into what they wanted, not letting the defense dictate their shot selection.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, anything can happen. Here's who Rick Carlisle is starting the second half with. Barnes at the 3 with Dirk at the 4. Smith is out there with Farrell, and it's Powell in at the center. Here's Farrell. Nowitzki with the screen on DeRozan. Smith, no good. Right side, DeRozan. And finished off by DeRozan.
Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
Mavericks shooting 39% from the floor, at their best. Smith kicks to Barnes. Powell with the screen. Here's the break for the finish. And Ibaka slams it in.
And you wonder what's gotten into Ibaka. He's been much more aggressive and successful than usual on the offensive end.
Now here is Smith. Barnes can't get it to go. Fast break Toronto. Lowry leading the charge. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, it may not be the era of the center in the NBA, but Jonas Valanciunas has something to say about that. He said, "I try to make sure they don't forget about centers. I'll keep reminding them. The league is full of guys that can do different things, but I still think you need a center that can rebound the ball and score in the low post." I agree. Kevin?
Well, the centers are still important, David. Good to see Valanciunas making his presence felt in the paint.
Ugly start to the second half. They've missed their first 4. They've got to get on track. But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
Now here is Smith. 8 points for him. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on DeMar DeRozan. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
That foul gives him 4, so he's got to settle down a bit.
Two minutes gone in this third quarter now. Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by DeRozan. All alone. Oh, and the jam by DeRozan.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked. You're toast. They learned that lesson there.
Nowitzki, the pass to Powell. Farrell for 3. He scores his 5th field goal. He's taken 9 shots to get those 5.
And they get one. Now 1 of 5 here in the third.
Lowry can't get it to go.
Well defended, though, and he's not someone who handles that kind of pressure very well.
Well, the Mavericks are looking to refresh the roster with some younger players, kind of interject some youth into that roster. And Dwight Powell, an athletic big man, is making a case as being a key part of that youth movement.
Now here's Barnes. Jonas Valanciunas unable to get his shot to go. Smith kicks to Farrell. Powell, that's good. Powell's got his first 2 points of the night.
Dwight Powell really showing continuing confidence in his inside game, and I think he's only going to get better down there.
And Powell has toyed with the three-point shot, Clark, but has yet to convert at a high rate from out there.
And you know what, Kevin, at this point, if he's finishing around the rim, I think that's most effective. 6'11" with pretty good leaping ability. I mean, he can punch it on you with ease.
It's stolen by Valanciunas. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. And that's 20 points for Valanciunas.
And you look at it, 8 of the last 10 points they've given up here coming in transition.
And defensively, you've got to recognize that threat and make the correction.
Powell, that's good.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Up their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
And the dunk by Valanciunas.
Beautiful reverse jam right there.
Use the rim to protect the ball, I think.
Outstanding awareness and a terrific finish.
Valanciunas on the double team. Here's Nowitzki. That shot off the mark. Good work defensively by Ibaka. Here's DeRozan, and finished off by DeRozan.
And since they've come out of halftime, they've been extremely poised and very efficient.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, certainly a step up from the first half. They're more engaged, more focused here in this second half, and they're getting good results.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, they're dialed in, locked and loaded from outside the arc. It's all about the triple so far.
Dallas has gone 4 of 6 from three-point land since the start of the second half. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Ibaka. And we see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Nowitzki.
This is the shot chart of a dominant performance. I mean, he's taken a lot of shots because right now he believes that every shot he does take is going in. And who can blame him with the way he's played? Simply outstanding work coming from him.
And out of bounds as Toronto gains possession. And here we have some expert playmakers at the two-guard position. Since the All-Star break, these are the shooting guards averaging the most assists per game. 5th best, DeMar DeRozan.
And what that group has a great understanding of is the importance of ball movement. I mean, they can all create their own shot, but their superb ability to set up teammates really stands out.
Yeah, I think you've got to attribute it to the unselfish attitude that each of them has. I mean, sure, they're going to attack and make sure they get their points, but they get just as much satisfaction in racking up assists, too.
Here's McDermott following the score by DeMar DeRozan. It's stolen by DeRozan. 2 on none. No one back to stop this. Whoa!
Hey, watch out now. Watch out.
And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure.
Yes, indeed. Let's just call him ladder climber.
Okay. Now, here is Smith. 8 points for him. Farrell for 3. Dallas, no good that time either.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Now Mejri, following the three-point attempt by DeRozan. Smith with a wide open look. Drops in the tray. Smith's got 11 points.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And, Greg, it's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
There's the pick. Now the pass to Farrell. Right with the double team. Fires, high post. And it's Smith again missing. Raptor shooting has been sensational. 75% for the game. And the basket is good. 40 points for DeMar DeRozan. Clark, thinking back to all the players you played with, was there one player who you just instantly clicked with on the floor?
Herb Williams was a teammate of mine for 2 years in college at Ohio State, then a couple of years with the Indiana Pacers in my pro career. And he's one of the smartest and best teammates that I ever played with. Had a really good understanding and feel for the game, had a terrific motor, excellent touch, really good athlete for a guy that was 6'11", and is a dear friend. So he was probably my favorite teammate. And, you know, when I went to the Pacers, he had been there the year before and really broke me into the NBA in terms of things that needed to happen off the court to help me be the best I could be. So I'm indebted to Herb for his friendship and his mentorship as I made it from college. Well, actually from high school to college and then from college to the pros.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Nerlens Noel checks in for Harrison Barnes. And Barea subbed in for Smith. So timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
Well, you hear a lot of disparaging, hating remarks directed towards jump shooting teams, but the Mavericks make no apologies. I mean, that's their game offensively, and that's their story, and they're sticking to it.
And the Raptors with some changes. Siakam is checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. C.J. Miles comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And Norman Powell subbed in for Wright. Here's Farrell. He's got 17. 4 on the clock. Powell with the steal. Fast break. Here come the Raptors. Pull up Jay. Connects. The jumper drops. Van Vliet's got 5. And you look at the numbers, whether it's three-pointers or mid-range shots, spot-up or pull-up, you name it. If it's a jumper, Dallas will live off it.
And you know what, Kevin? If the NBA game was played more like a game of horse, they would be a powerhouse. And, you know, with their defensive scheme clogging the paint, they dare opponents to get into a shoot-it-out with them because they feel like they win that game most times.
And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession.
All right, a chance to look at stats for Barea. His last 10 games, he's putting up about 12 points a game, 7 assists, and 2 rebounds. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go, but I like what I'm seeing right now.
Now here's McDermott. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Shot clock at 5. Wide open shot is on the money.
And immediately looking for the open man when the double team comes to him.
And it's Miles missing.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Raptors.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
Yeah, and also the way they've been able to generate points off of the turnovers that they forced tonight has also helped.
So it's the Mavericks now. Now here's Barea. 7 points in the game. Mejri, the pass to McDermott. 6 on the shot clock. Another 3 for Dallas.
Always got to patrol the three-point line. When you don't, you suffer the consequences.
Nogueira, and the dunk by Nogueira.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with 2 hands on that stuff.
Yeah, highly efficient. Nothing extra special there. Just effective.
Here's Barea after the Raptors pick up 2. Mejri misses.
Now that's superb defense in low. I mean, they played it well. It's not easy trying to alter these shots without fouling the shooter, and that's a good job of doing both.
No hesitation at all in transition, and they have a huge margin in that department.
Fast breaks yield easy buckets, guys. They've made the most of their chances in that regard. The defense not able to get set. You get a running start to the rim, you should get a good number of scoring chances that way.
One shot behind the lanes.
Free throw, no good for Miles. Well over a decade in the NBA for C.J. Miles, taken straight out of high school by the Jazz back in 2005.
And he's just now entering his 30s. A good floor spacer and solid defender at the 2 or 3 spot.
They get it again. Back to Farrell. Beyond the arc. Outside for Barea. Poked loose. Fast break Toronto. Here's Miles. Good for another field goal. Number 5 on the night. 5 for 10 shooting.
Man, has this offense been running? I'm just getting tired of watching them.
Well, it's no secret. That's what they do. That's who they are. 4 of their last 5 made baskets coming in transition.
Now here's Barea. He has 7. The baseline J. Here's Nogueira. Good for another bucket. He's made half a dozen now, 6 for 8 on the night.
Well, I tell you what, he's putting together quite a game here, knocking down shots and building upon this lead.
Pass to Farrell. Back to Barea. Dallas moving it around. And that one's good. Noel.
Hey, just give Noel the rock in the post, and he knows what to do from there. Excellent presence in the low post.
Here's Miles. Miles with another miss. The Mavericks shooting 48% from the field as a team in this third quarter. Farrell kicks to Barea. Noel passes to Farrell. Here's Mejri. It's deflected. We've got 1:08 left to play in the third. Nogueira, count that as his 7th field goal in 10 tries. He's shooting a very good 70%.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen. Awesome feed there. That pass was on point.
In it goes for the 8th time in 10 tries.
And that keeps him perfect from the field this quarter.
Dallas shooting 41% for the game. Now here's Barea. He's guarded closely. And the basket good by Mejri.
Yeah, those shots are taken totally in rhythm, high percentage quality shots, and really getting whatever he wants.
Miles the pass to Siakam. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Noel. Kyle Lowry. He's checked in for Toronto. The Mavericks also with a sub. Nowitzki's checked in. .30 seconds left in the third. And yes, it's good. Lowry's got 8 points.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
You're exactly right. It's been all good at one end, and let's be diplomatic and just say not so good at the other end.
Here's Miles, and he banks in the layup. He's got 12.
Well, when you give Miles space to roam near the rim, he's going to finish inside with a variety of moves.
That's tipped. Yep, that one goes. Here's Lowry, banked in off the glass. That gives him a double-double in this one. 10 points and 13 assists. And so it's the Toronto Raptors holding an unbelievable lead as the quarter wraps up. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Now let's take a listen on head coach Dwayne Casey.
But man, we got to get down and get engaged at the other end. All right, be precise, send the ball to the screen, come across the screen, focus on the defensive end. Let's go.
Their year, Dwayne Casey asking for more precision on offense and more attention to detail on defense.
Yeah, carry out your assignments on both ends. Do the little things that ultimately make a big difference in the outcome of a game.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Richardson is out there with Lowry. Then it's Nogueira. Then there's C.J. Miles. And it's Pirtle in at the 5 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Now here is Pirtle. Richardson. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And you look at the Raptors, one of the top teams in the East, Greg, but do they have a chance to go all the way?
I think they're a threat to make the finals. Can they win it all? They may be a piece or two away, but still a young and aggressive core. They continue to try to add pieces, and this is a group that has proven they want to win and win now.
That's good from Richardson. And recently, the NBA changed it so announcers for teams no longer get a vote in league awards. Not an easy decision for the league to make, Clark.
No, it wasn't an easy one, but I can understand that. There's always the potential for bias when you're associated with a particular team, but there's also some expertise that you no longer have now because of that rule. So it's a delicate balancing act, and I don't mind at least giving it a shot for the league to do it this way.
Now here's Barea. Poked away, stolen by Miles. Now the Raptors moving it up. Finished off the break. Miles has got 10 points here in the second half.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up.
Barea against Lowry. There's a screen by Noel. Richardson covering. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And you know what? It's important for big men to be able to shoot from deep in today's game. And shot selection important. Good shot selection there.
And how about the excellent court vision? Just keeping the defense off balance.
Yeah, that was a sweet pass right there, setting up his teammate nicely. And that's really how you move the rock. Share that sugar, man. Share it.
And so here is Dallas after Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession. Right, he's checked in for Kyle Lowry. Raptor shooting has been sensational. 75% for the game. Goes up the baseline. And again, no good by Toronto. Dallas has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Some nice passing here by Dallas. Pass to Motley. And stolen by Richardson. Fast break Toronto. And it's Nogueira missing.
Yeah, good interior D there. Prevents the deuce.
And, you know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
Down low, Motley. The shot will not fall. Now Toronto takes it the other way. And there's Nogueira on the assist from Miles. Miles has got 3 assists in the game. Mavericks have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. And there's the foul. It's on Lucas Nogueira. That'll be his second foul of the game. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Nogueira comes with the double team. Nogueira with the steal.
Clever, crafty defense. He saw that pass coming before it was even made.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And that monster lead continues to grow. They are just piling it on now.
Yeah, it looks too easy for him. Almost looks too easy for him, I should say, Greg. I mean, their chemistry really, really at a high level.
The Mavericks shooting around 41% on the night. Right against Smith. Screen by Smith. Nogueira with the steal.
All you have to do is point to their turnovers this quarter. There's a reason the scoreboard looks like it does.
That's been the culprit, the turnovers. I mean, TOs, those kinds of mistakes have really kind of drained their confidence to this point.
Here's Motley. Clark, when you played, you were the classic power forward. Forwards now are asked to do so much in terms of skill set on the floor. Just how much has that forward position changed in the last few decades?
You know, in some ways, Kevin, it's become a little more specialized. I mean, you have wing players now that fall into that small forward category. But guys between 6'6" and 6'10" now are playing on the wing, which means you've got to be able to move your feet and defend. Versatile players at that position. You've got to be able to handle the ball and make plays ideally, get shots, score the ball, and rebound effectively. So that's always been, I thought, the 2 and 3 positions, which are wings now. Those positions are the most demanding in the league in terms of both sides of the ball. The power forward position has become somewhat like that now because of the size and versatility and skill set of so many of those bigger players. But I think the demands are pretty much the same. The one thing that changed is the fact that you have to play out on the floor more and in space, which means you've got to be a little more athletic if you're going to be part of a small ball lineup.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
You know, the Mavericks are in an interesting phase, kind of that in-between, in-betwixt phase. Even as they look to go young around him, they're committed to keeping Dirk Nowitzki in Dallas for the remainder of his career. So, again, a delicate position, but I think they're doing it the right way, keeping Dirk around.
And so it's Dallas with it. Nogueira with the steal. And again, Toronto running the court in transition. Here's Miles. Drops in the layup for 2. Miles has got 4 points now in the quarter.
And getting out in transition has been a big part of this run that they're on.
And there was a time, Clark, when Dirk Nowitzki considered leaving Dallas in pursuit of another title. But that time has passed.
Yeah, you know what? It's great to see. I love to see one franchise superstars. It doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, it's special. I mean, he's not the player he was 5 years ago. He's not able to single-handedly lift the team to favorite status, but he can certainly have an impact as one of the legends in the game, leading and also helping prepare the next generation.
Buries it from three-point range. The Raptors have gotten more than 58% of their attempts to go down for them in the fourth quarter. They're 7 of 12. Yep, that one goes.
Miles is very aggressive in how he attacks the bucket. He's got steady and sneaky quickness, really, and a quick release, both advantageous for him.
Here's Smith after Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago.
Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
That's good for Miles on the assist by Richardson. Richardson's got 5 assists tonight.
Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
Well, constantly finding lanes to the basket, getting great looks inside.
And they're on the break. Here's Miles. Buries it down low. Miles has got 18 points just in the second half.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Nogueira dishes to Wright. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Excellent awareness there, zipping the ball over to the perfect spot to score it.
Dallas has gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on 3-point attempts here in the fourth. Out to the wing. Some nice passing here by Dallas. And there's the foul. It's on Lucas Nogueira. That's his 4th foul of the contest. And Clark, we know that players are evaluated in a historical perspective, largely by how many rings they have. Do you think that's a fair way to evaluate things?
I don't think you can solely evaluate an individual player in a team sport by the number of rings he's been able to win. Clearly, it can be part of the criteria, especially if you're talking about great players who have had similar careers. It can be a differentiator. But to me, it doesn't necessarily carry the weight that some people like to give it in evaluating players. Individual performance over time is what, to me, marks the hallmark of a player worthy of Hall of Fame consideration or being talked about being one of the greats in the game.
Smith on the wing. Again, the miss by Smith.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And he didn't get quite enough under that one. The Mavericks shooting 39% from the floor. Not their best. Here's the three. Bangs home the trifecta.
He's putting on a commanding performance here. He's hit 2 3-pointers in each half now.
And the dunk by Pirtle.
Hey, look at Pirtle. Making it look easy, dropping the hammer down on the defense.
The Mavericks shooting in the fourth quarter, not pretty, down around 29%. And Smith gets double teamed, and it's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Dallas. On defense, the Raptors. Smith drawn the double team. Pirtle with the steal. And they're pushing it up. Here's Van Vliet. And he makes that one.
And wasting no time in transition, really pushing the pace.
And, you know, when the defense doesn't have time to set up, it really does make scoring a lot easier.
Now, here is Smith. Nowitzki outside. They double team Nowitzki. Tipped away. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Nowitzki. Toronto with the ball. Here's Van Vliet, and he uses the glass on the layup.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Yeah, it's really been quite a contrast. I like the way they're attacking the middle at their offensive end.
Now, here's Measury. Smith for three. Powell pulls it in. Van Vliet kicks to Pirtle. Powell. The putback. It's good on the putback.
Great job of crashing the offensive glass. He stayed with it. That's hard-nosed, tough basketball.
Dallas with the ball. So it's off to Brooklyn after this game as they have the Nets to look forward to. That is game 3 of this 4-game trip. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wynn.
I could not say it any better, showing you some real focus, taking it inside against the bigger man.
And it's Smith missing.
Well, another 10-cup moment here because he continues to miss shot after shot from three-point range. This is not a fourth quarter he's going to want to remember. They are just killing him on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Stolen. And he now has a 5-by-5. Pirtle. And the dunk by Pirtle.
Boy, got to respect Pirtle's aggressiveness. Putting it on the floor and getting the job done on the drive, that's big time.
The Mavericks shooting not great, 40% for the game. Feeds to Nowitzki. And it's blocked. And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession. The Raptors making a switch here. Miles is checked in. On defense, Toronto. Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
Not sure if he just ran out of gas or what, Kevin, but he's been awful ever since the second half started. Not even been a factor.
All alone. Powell pulls it in. Powell's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Pirtle. It's rebounded by Dallas. Measury's got 9 rebounds now tonight. That's tipped. One-on-one fast break. Here's Pirtle. That's good again. His 7th basket. 7 for 10 from the floor.
How about the agility of Pirtle, the 7-footer just sprinting down the open court with remarkable and surprising speed.
Now here is Smith. Nowitzki, the pass to Barnes. Changes up. Nogueira pulls it in. Nogueira's got rebound number 12 here already in the game.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Toronto.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And for the year now, they'll have 52 wins under their belt.
Listen, anytime you drop that first game of a series matchup against a particular team, you really want to come back stronger. And they did. Of course, this is their last of 2 games between these two teams during the regular season, so a nice one to even it up at 1 apiece against Dallas.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Lucas Nogueira.
Yeah, and he was aggressive rebounding the ball tonight. I think his aggressiveness on the glass helped set the tone.
And here are the Mavericks now. The Raptors getting the bucket. Nowitzki a screen. To the inside, Nogueira with the steal. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And the dunk by Pirtle.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
And, you know, this is what's needed at this point in the game, Greg. The great teams know how to close it out.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
Toronto calls timeout. They're up. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, your thoughts?
You know, this is a timeout maybe just so they can pat each other on the back because no other reason to call it.
Well, they're really just being conservative, making sure they don't make any last-minute mistakes, I guess. I mean, I have no idea. No idea.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Lucas Nogueira.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
He doesn't always get the minutes he's gotten tonight, but there's no way they were going to sit him down once he got going. And the crowd has been loving it. A memorable night for him coming off the bench.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good, Smith.
Boy, the speed and shooting Smith possesses is dangerous. I mean, a speedy point guard who continues to get better.
Both free throws good from Smith. And so here's Toronto. Well, for the Raptors, they can just run out the clock. Good on the shot.
And giving the fans what they came to see, a spirited performance.
Well, they've got to be pleased with the effort they've seen so far tonight. Everybody pitching in for what looks to be a solid W.
Nowitzki, no good. Here's Nogueira. Smith with the defensive effort. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. It was a tale of 2 teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Serge, big win tonight. Now, people may think you have some easy games on the schedule, but you did not play easy tonight.
Because we know where we want to go, you know. That's why we was focused tonight. We try to finish strong.
And it was a strong performance, Serge. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone.